I've just put a few little bits and bobs on it. Have a look at this bad boy. Once again, this thing looks better in the flesh, but you know, you would never believe me. I'll just give it a quick zhuzhing. These dark spots are just bits of oil from polishing media. So that's definitely removable. What I'm doing is I'm using them as markers for where the depressions are. Because no one likes to have a depressed opal.
I'm so depressed.
I know, but don't worry. We'll get that depression out of you.
Oh, I'm feeling better already.
I know. Just needed a bit of a shave and a bit of a sprucing, that's all.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's alright, hang on. Let's get that.
Oh.
Now, this won't hurt a bit, don't stress.
Ah! Ah! You lied!
Yeah, I know, but it's for your own good. There you go.
Oh, I feel so much better.
Yeah, I know you do. I told you you would. Just have to believe me. Just believe me, little opal.
I'll never doubt you again.
I know you won't. That's okay. Probably won't need to. You'll just sit in somebody's jewellery drawer. Or maybe you'll be an investment opal. Maybe people will be thinking that you're worth millions.
Really?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You are looking so good.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you. Because I'm the one who gets to work on you. You don't often get the chance to work on a stone this magnificent.
Oh, it's no nice of you to say.
I know. I'm that kind of loving, generous person, really. I sometimes surprise myself even.
Oh, you are. You are.
The good thing about being able to do voices is you can get people to affirm you, where otherwise people would not. Oh, dear. So, in case you're just joining up and wondering what the hell's going on, this is an opal that I did a few nights ago, and it ended up being an absolute cracker. So here, let's have a look at some of the... You can see all of the clipping. It's very hard to spot the colour, but what you can do is you can spot the clip. Wherever it's clipping and whatever temperature range... well, it is a temperature range. Whatever colour range it's clipping in, that is just how bright the colour is. So you're seeing a lot of white with just a really weird kind of saturated colour. Just turning this down a bit. That'll do nicely. All right. So you see that saturated colour, a bit of a spruce. And what I'm doing now is I'm giving it a bit of a trim, getting all of the scata, as my girlfriend would refer to it, getting the rubbish off, because we've got some decisions to make on this stone. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly, just very so slightly, change the... Oh, opal cutting after dark. What's the time in America? I did it in the morning because I was hoping that I would get the Americans. Oh, thank you. The opal guy is my biggest fan. I don't know. He's my biggest supporter, I reckon. Good old Don. There's also, I've been having some good conversations with a rock hounder from Alabama. Seems nice enough. Yeah, now this guy is a, it is dark somewhere. Probably behind this, this machine here. But as you can see, what I'm doing here is this is a Cooper opal coming from the cheap potch, and it just, I could not believe it when I saw this stone. I'm going, that's not a cheap stone. Well, I don't know what's worse, buying an expensive stone and worrying about messing it up, or buying a cheap stone, finding a really good one in there, a cheap potch, finding a good stone in there, and then worrying about messing up your own effort. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking things. I have been accused of that before. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. And Don, when I go to America, and I will go to America again, I'll visit you guys. And we'll have a great time. And then you guys are returning the favour. You're going to come and I'll figure a place for you guys to stay. Australia's a bit different from the United States in that, how do I put this? The United States is bigger than Australia, but Australia is so less densely populated. So you end up driving for hours and hours without seeing anything. I had some British relatives who came over. They absolutely loved it. They were amused by the novelty of just driving through nothing for hours. When I was in a plane above the United States, I was gobsmacked because you could just see lights everywhere until you went over Michigan. G'day, Gilly. How you doing? I was going to ask, seeing your name's Gilly, can you wicket keep? Confused look by the Americans. What would that be? That'd be the catcher in baseball terms. Yeah, oh, the Opal Mills video. Yeah, he's telling you to buy big, which is actually a good concept. But here I am with this stone, which I found in $6 potch. So, I don't think that the average punter, however, is going to end up with something like this. So you just got to be careful and patient and not mess it up. So I'm going to pop that. It's going to be. This is looking kind of roundish, but it's still a bit not round, and I'm going to leave it like that because it's too nice to just cut things off. So it's going to be, it's round, but it's really freeform. So I'm putting that one away now, and I'm going to grab a whole heap of stuff which I prepared earlier. So I've got stuff from Lightning Ridge, I've got stuff from Cooper Pedy, I've got stuff from everywhere, and we'll see how far we go. I have been told that I am going on a shopping trip with my girlfriend. I have until I think it's 11 or 11:30 or something like that. But don't worry, we'll know when my time has come. These days, oh that's right, because Gilchrist retired. Sorry. So I've got these guys. These are stones with no particular colour, but I'm going to have a fossil through them. This one, I've been meaning to do it for quite some time. Something's dropped on. Hopefully it's not a good one. That one there has got a band of colour which is paper thin. We'll probably do that first because that's fun. Paper thin band. Easy to mess up. Here's a knobby. Yeah, I've got some black opal. Hang on. This one's a black opal. This one's a black opal too. Well, maybe. We'll see. Actually, what I'll do is I'll grab a knobby, a random knobby from somewhere. Yeah, we'll get this one. What I'm going to do is I'll cut this one in half, or will I get another whiter looking one? Yeah, I'll get a whiter looking one, because usually, hopefully it's not going to make a liar out of me, but the knobbies themselves, they have a particular structure, and it's easy to spot. They have this white coat, white skin, and then underneath is nothing but just this black lump, basically. Sorry, I'm putting all these out. I'm hoping that one of these has got a knobby in it. This is technically black opal. It's it's Lightning Ridge opal. There's some more Lightning Ridge. Yeah, we'll hack into this one and we'll see. This one's a black opal here. Well, you know what I mean. It's got a chance. Oh, hang on, I found one. All right, so here's a opal which has got a light coloured skin. I'm going to zoom in on this guy. I'm just going to tip all these over. There. There's plenty to play with. So this is the typical skin you see of an opal, and I'll zoom right in on it, of a knobby. Right, and so there's whatever issues you have with it. Then when you cut it open, this is what happens. You see this black stuff inside. Now this is usually what happens with knobby opal, but it can happen with any opal, and that's the fun of black opal, because if you happen to have colour on this side and then you've got the black underneath, then that is a recipe for fun. Anywho, you can also have black opal which is clear, and that is also fun. Bear with me as I try and get I reckon that's a pretty good zoom, so we'll see what's going on. I'll just carve the sand off this one to see what's underneath it, and then we'll go on to the Kupapiti one. Seeing we've had a request for black opal, I'll actually do a black opal first, I think. Well, an allegedly black opal, because we don't know for sure until we've actually cut it. It's got to be an N1. If it's not an N1, it's not a black opal. Simple as that. So what's behind all of this garbage? What's behind the guff? Well, it's certainly not made a liar of me. You can see the black that's coming underneath that. So what I'm going to carefully do is coast around here, because there's a little bit of colour here. It's not good enough to be an opal, but if it just strengthens up even a little bit. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of what Australia actually is. Are you ready for this? I think this pretty much sums up Australia. This is a money spider, I think, in a precarious position. So I'm in a precarious position looking at a spider in a precarious position. I'm going to rescue him, actually, because he's not actually dangerous. Hey, buddy. Off you go. Now, I know some people will be freaked out by the fact that there's now a spider hanging around my feet. He's not dangerous. Like, the worst thing that can happen is that, like, he'll run on my feet and I'll get jumpy and I'll go into the blade. That's about as dangerous as a spider is. Apparently our biggest spider, the huntsman, is the most lethal, not because he's venomous, but because he usually hangs out in the sunshade of your car. And so when you flip the sun visor down, giant spider lands in your lap. Car accident. That's the urban rumour. I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't actually looked that one up because it's too good a story to actually verify with facts. So I can happily tell it with an honest face because I haven't verified. I think it's called a money spider. They're from the primitive spider family, and I can't remember the name of the primitive spiders. But it's the same family that you get your huntsman and your funnel web from. I'm going to cut through here because there's two different thicknesses. Whee! Let's have a look. We're going to have a quick look at this in the sun. Actually, that's promising. That's really promising. Okay, can you see that? I'm going to quickly look at it in the sun. I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise black opal on the cards here. So my question is, if we cut it with the back, cut it down this way, it's slightly concave, you see. So if we cut it that way, we might miss out on some opal. If we cut it that way, we'll miss out on the black. So what I'm going to do is, I reckon we're going to go big or go home. We're either going to stuff it mightily or we're going to get a great stone out of it. So I'm going to go and cut for gold. Now you never know, the colour might not show up. I know it's there. You can see the opal formation process here actually, because you can see what's called a kernel. Just, I don't know if you can see the kernel. It's that black bit right at the top. But that's basically where there's a cavity and some more opal forms on top of it. And when you have a look at it, it's a second kernel there as well. That's what's happened here. Beautiful little example, even if it comes to nothing. But hopefully it'll come to something, because I've seen some very promising signs. You can do, oh, I can see some colour coming through here. Come on. If it comes to naught, it comes to naught. We're not going to worry too much. I tell you what, it looks interesting. I'm going to bring it up. You can see the whirly pattern in it. Even if it comes to nothing, it really looks interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to angle it slightly, because I'm suspecting that the opal will face this direction. Just a quick look in the sun to see what I'm doing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, technically we've got some colour. It's not saleable, but it's colour. We'll keep going with this. It's quite a lot of fun to do it. Going around the other side, seeing that there's obviously colours and nodules around. Yeah, that's actually coming up a bit. Oh, it's just threatening to colour up all the time without actually doing it. If not, it's a nice piece of backing. Oh, the colour's coming through just a little bit, just on this corner. I don't think it'll be good enough. What I might do is I might just I'll use this for cabbing practice, so I'll carve this bit off. So from here on in, I'm just making it into a cab. There's a few little quirks with it. It's got inconsistent thicknesses, and so it's good. It's a good practice stone now. And you never know, it might come good. Probably faced it the wrong way. We'll have a look on the other side. I need to carve it through anyway. Need to flatten the back. Well, it's not a spectacular stone anyway, but it certainly is showing through more colour on this side. So I made the wrong call. Essentially, I should have gone from this side. You can see that. Not that it's going to come up with a valuable stone anyway, so it's not like... I think that's the second time in my life I've been wrong. That's a little bit of a joke there. Got rid of that. Just making the freeform tab. How am I for symmetry? It's a little bit asymmetrical, right? Okay, so it's one of those stones which has got slightly different consistencies on each side, so that means that you'll sit there and you'll push hard one side and it'll do nothing. You'll push hard the other side and it'll carve half of the opal away. So there you go. There's my little cab. It's not a marketable cab, but it's a cab nonetheless. Taxi. Let's have a look at this other section. Will it do any better than that one? It's got more sand, and I get sand with precious opal, so I'm saying yes. Need to do both sides, and because I was wrong the last time with this opal, I'm being a bit extra cautious. What I'll do is I'll just have a quick look ski. Doesn't look like we've got much, but there is a bit. There's just here a little bit of blue. It's nothing amazing, but you know, it's a win. You can see the blue there, black opal blue. Ah, it's a sun flash, is it? I love sun flash. It's my favourite. All right, let's grab a lightning ridge. We'll grab this guy, but there's a better one around somewhere. I'm just trying to find it. This one. We'll do this one. But there might even be a better still. Hang on. It's probably the one I dropped earlier. There's that one. Let's have a look at this one. It's a bit smoky and it might end up good. If not, we'll just do the one which I think is going to work out well. The one that I can see anyway. I think every opal has their charms. This one certainly does. But I'm not expecting it to come out full black opal. Sometimes I do this. I don't know why. I think she'll die. Okay, there's quite clearly a layer in between. Let me have a quick look. Alright, let me show you. Yeah, I'll do a dark crystal for you. Okay, so you can have a look here. You can see how there's that layer of sand and it goes up. So I'm going to carve straight into that. Get rid of it. Carefully, because I think I can make 2 opals if I'm careful enough. Where did that go? I think it's that piece there, isn't it? No, that's a... Okay, that went flying. I should probably be thankful it didn't end up in my eye. Is that it? No, that's not it. Don't worry, they always come back eventually. Ah, it's that piece there. Very tiny piece. I think what I'll do is I'll just carve the rest back. Yeah, my cup doesn't exactly runneth over at the moment. I might have to refill my water. Oh, look at that. There's a nice little surprise in the middle of it. Let's just see how deep that goes. Not very. It does go under that layer. So what I can do is this. It's got a very distinct profile, this one. This one does not want to be a cab, it wants to be a freeform. The one that was on the dop stick, it was there going, what do you want me to do? And I said, oh, I'll conserve the opal and go for a bit free for me. This guy's going, you are not going to do a cab with me. You're going to do any shape but a cab. There we go, look at you. I'm going to have to carve that whole section off, I think. And then carve into there. So it's more of a picture stone than anything else. But it's okay. I think it's faced the wrong way. I reckon if we'd have faced it... Well, we'll try from the side. It's always going to be a bit smoky, this one. So it was never going to be a high value stone. Yeah, so which side? I don't know. Probably the side of the least black. I know that sounds counterintuitive. I don't mind that kind of pattern, but I think this one is the more marketable side. So, you know, not a particularly valuable stone, but at least it's, you know, worth the time. Moving on to something else, because we want to do something that's a little bit more spectacular than that. We'll do this guy. He'll either be brilliant or dead. Okay, come on. Don't do that. The wind's picked up. I don't know how people feel about the rest of the world, but the saying that I have is that there is a gust in August. I'm just cleaning up the station to make it look a bit better for me. Just so that you know, I did promise to go out and shop with my girlfriend today, so at some point during this live stream you're going to get the angry call of a woman going, we need to go shopping, we need to go shopping. So don't think that she's being nasty when that happens. It's just the deal we have made. Okay, what do you reckon? I reckon I'm going to slice that straight down the middle. This one's purple, yeah. Skexis, that's not from the dark crystal, is it? Okay, we've got our work cut out for this one. Have a look at that. Can I or not? I might have to cut off the potch at the back. Wanted to keep that, but I don't think it's going to be on the cards this time around. Doublet material only. There we go. So I've managed to clean it up, but there's not much left. That's okay. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. That's the fun of opals. That's why they're worth the money. Let's just get this piece all cleaned up and hopefully we'll get something out of this little knobby. Once again, I think the Skexis have definitely approved of this one. I know you probably mean that it's a dark crystal, but yeah. Well, I don't know, you tell me. I reckon that's a pretty nice one. Small but nice. I'm not going to turn that one into a doublet because I like keeping them slightly clear, even if they don't show off as much colour. Could be useful for something. Embossing a walking stick, maybe. Well, we got something out of it. Happy with that. You know what'll happen? There'll be a piece of potch lying around, aka this one, and I'll just put it on. I'll go, that looks fantastic, and I'll just, yeah, I'll probably end up doubling it. Let's check out this guy. Bit smoky, but also maybe a bit nice. I only think this one's Lightning Ridge. Feels like Lightning Ridge. It's very, very buttery. So for those who are in the United States, a Lightning Ridge opal. Oh yeah, there's a that's a kernel in there. You can see that. Just a white potch kernel. You're probably more used to dealing with Ethiopian opals, and I reckon a Lightning Ridge opal feels Ethiopian, except it doesn't shatter as easily. That could just be because I've got so little experience with Ethiopian opals. I don't know what I'm talking about. So don't quote me on that one. I'm just going to slightly open up the valve here. The reason why we've got a few issues is because it's a little bit low. It's not really low, just a little bit low. So nothing to hit the panic button over. As another aside, there is a line of colour going through here. I may have to reface this. There's also a nice little piece of colour right in the back of this. I don't know what to call this. It is a dark opal, believe it or not. It's got some nice dark colour in it, but it's got this kind of white haze sitting over the top. It's kind of got a black, I don't know, black subcontext. I don't even know. Look, this is like tasting wine, you know. Well, it's got nutty flavours and an interesting aroma. Yes. It feels Cretaceous, yes. It's a Cretaceous vintage. It's a bit nutty. For those Austin Powers fans. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I might have to cut it through the nodule because it's just going to create too much hassle. So I'll give it a bit of size on that. We'll have a triangle stain there, and we'll have a cab this way. If I do it like that, hopefully we get the best of both worlds. Whoa, there it goes. I'm very glad I did that. I'll show you this in a second. So let's have a brief stop and think. What will that nodule do? Can I ignore the nodule? I think I can. I'm going to ignore it. Tiny little stone to cut there. And then we'll just turn it into just basic cabbing from here on in. Well, as basic as it can be with a giant nodule sticking out the side. I don't mind making the less than perfect stones. For the luxury market, you have to make sure that they're all 100% perfect. No this, no that. But other stones, you know, come on, let them have some character. Flattening out the back. If that starts to shine up, I'm not going to be happy. I suppose I will be. Eureka and all that. Get rid of that piece of whatever. Okay, so that's a beautiful little stone. Let me show it to you. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see exactly what I see in it, but there's just these little hints of colour that just kind of flash through it all the time. So not bad. Managed to get into a cab shape, and I think that if I mess with it any further, we'll end up with a less than perfect stone. Okay, what I'll do is I will cut nodule side and see what happens if I had cut that way for that other stone. So what would it have done if I'd have done that? Here we go. And there's a bit subtle colour, but not much. Oh, there's a crack here too. Yeah, I think we were doing the right thing by cutting the other side. That's good. But I'll get this one into shape anyway. Yeah, if I'd have done it that way, well, look at that. There's an argument. I'll show it to you. There's an argument to say that it would have been good. It's just up at the top of the triangle, if I can get it to shine for you. There's a nice bit of colour. But I think that, I don't know. A nice double-sided stone. Alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick fossix through this lightning ridge stone here. It's not lightning ridge, it's Cooper. I like this material. Not many people do, but I do. So I'm just going to carve it and see what happens. This one, the trick to carving it well is to facet it. Anywhere there's a corner, it'll show up. I'll show you this in a second. Oh, look at that. The logic still stands. Facet it. Don't be tempted to do anything else. Where's that water coming from? Okay. Sorry, I just got a massive drip on me. Okay, so is that a crack or not? Don't think so. I'm just looking at the... Yeah, there will be quotes. That's all I can remember in the sketches. I was quite young at the time. I've heard that... I've actually seen the dark crystal, or at least quotes from it a little bit later, and I realised that Frank Oz did the wise woman who picked out the crystal and all that. Sounded almost precisely like Yoda. I think Frank Oz only had one wise person, hermit in the woods kind of voice. Ooh, that crystal you must seek.
The crystal you must seek. Yes, yes, yes. Play your harp you will, or your stupid pipey thing. Oh yes, machine will fling around. Yes, oh yes.
I had a good chat with Phil on the internet chatty thing. That's Phil Mill from the Opal Mills, in case you're wondering who I'm talking about. I had to clear up some misunderstandings. as I did with you, Don, because one of your fans came out swinging at me because you said, "Are you bored by this stone?" And I, as the larrikin that I am, I said, "Yawn." And this girl came out like, "He's so interesting. He's very, very interesting. I can't believe..." I'm being a bit dramatic here. "I can't believe you would call him boring." And I'm like, okay. She may have gotten the wrong impression. Naturally, the quote isn't that vehement, but still, a bit amusing. I think I've just lost someone on my Christmas card list. So what I'm doing is I'm flattening out the base here. So I've decided this is quite a nice, quite a nice top. So what I'll be doing from this point in is faceting it. Now I'm desperately trying to avoid the rolling action as you're supposed to do with opals, because I'm not cutting that kind of opal, I'm faceting it. Ah, that's what happens. So I lean down on the little board and then the water goes all over my pants. Good look. Alright, let me see. Deliberately a bit haphazard, in case you're wondering. I started working on a faceting tool which will make standardised facets a little bit easier. I realised it didn't need to do much because we've already got various things in the tool shed which orient things in that kind of way. So watch this space for that. But what I'm doing here is I'm just faceting it so that I can start to see some of the lines that will draw themselves, really. So first things first, I've got to make sure it's all straight. Good thing about curving them is that that actually helps you to get things symmetrical, because you can kind of just use the action of your hands to do it. Then when you facet, what I might actually do is I'll roll it and then facet it, because that'll make life easier for me. I can even facet on one, yeah, we'll see. I'll do a newbie ring on it, I reckon. For those people who don't know, a newbie ring is basically like a ring of flatness that occurs when you just sit there and you keep the opal on the spot for way too long. And usually it happens when you're new to opal cutting. So I don't know if anybody else calls it this, but I call it a newbie ring.
Christmas in summer seems strange.
I'm hoping that's a Dark Crystal quote, because that's what I just did. Here's another Dark Crystal quote. I remember that. If I recall correctly, that movie didn't make the money Jim Henson expected, and he was quite upset by it. Okay. Quite a nice video about opal mills. So, you know, when I'm done with this, definitely not before I'm done with this, when I'm done with this, you go up and watch opal mills, you'll see a very spectacular stone. You can tell even from the start that the colour is going to be absolutely phenomenal. But sometimes they're trickier than, like, actually, yeah, just watch the video. Not now, when you're done with this one. Did I mention not now? Alright, so let me just go in here and here. I'm just going to do a quick facet, and then I'm going to leave it to be docked, just so you can see what the faceting does. Okay, so it's a fairly haphazard facet, but when you see it, you can see that it's, well, you can't see it on the camera anyway. I'll try and do a video on it later, but basically what happens is that the sun, I'm going to take it into the sun and see if it is doing it. Yeah, it is. Doing it a little bit. Oh, no. Right, this news just in, folks. So this side here actually shines up red when you put it into the sun. I faced it. It's the day of the bad facings. It's alright, I'll keep it like that. Yeah, I'm going to make contact with my daughter. She's currently with her mother, and I'll see if I can organise a hostage release. And so we'll do something Father's Day. Another black opal just for funsies. Then I'll move on to that Cooper Pedy stone, because I want to really have a look at what's inside. I'm a bit disappointed because I thought that I would get something, you know, really flashy and wow out of the stones that I had. So my spidey senses haven't been working with my potch. Normally I'm able to detect something. There's just a chunk of sand here, so I'm getting rid of it. It has the added benefit of actually turning it into a fairly standard stone, so I'm just gonna cab it. And this is one of those ones that if it does shine up, it'll be in the polishing stage, and you're not going to see much here. I think there's some flash in it though, but you'll have to wait for an appropriate amount of sunshine for that. Tell you what, the material here is beautiful to work with. It's just buttery soft. Maybe I'm having too much fun working with the stone, cutting too much away. There's inclusions in this one. I'll try and keep them because I like the idea of some little bug being in there. Perhaps my stones are a bit different to the rest because everyone wants perfect. Maybe it's a marketing gimmick. My stones, they have fill inclusions. They're much better than other stones because they have inclusions. There you go. Nice little cab, quickly done. And there was another one I was going to do, so I'll actually do that one. It's this guy. Surely this guy will do it. Surely. This is some wood opal, by the way. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm a bit more confident with it, because I think that even though wood opal can be a pain to work with, it's got a lot of nice colour in it. When it's got colour. What have we got here? So over this side, we'll make some decisions. I can see some fairy dots over here. I can see some bright purples on the other side, so I'm just going to even things up and have a look. Okay. Oh, 10 minutes remaining, guys. See what I can do here. Trust me to find a nice stone with 10 minutes remaining. The clock is ticking. All right, what I'm going to do is, I'll just carve through this bit. Oh, this is looking nice. This is looking nice. I think we'll just carve that piece off there like so. Yeah, look at that. And I bet if I do that, look at you, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Carve that bit off and there'll be... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully carve this bit off like so, because there's some nice opal underneath on that side. Let me just think. Okay, let me show you. I'm sacrificing that opal on that side if I keep going here. I'm going to have to remove this section. Well, we'll just carve this down and see if it gets any better. It does not. Alright. How far have we got? We'll cut it at about this amount. And that way we might even be able to not only preserve the opal, but we'll see if there's any colour that we're missing on the cutaway section. Let's have a look. I don't think there's much, and I've just successfully avoided that nice fairy opal section, which I can now turn into a stone of its own. Now let's have a look what we're doing. That corner can go. Good, so I can slightly adjust the angles so that it's... Yeah, that's good. So now it's getting rid of some of the awkward bits. So my compassion towards the fairy opal section has resulted in a brilliant decision. This is what we like to see. This is what we love to see. This is what we live for. Look at that. Look at you. Well, aren't you a pretty little stone? Ha ha. You are pretty in anyone's books. What I might have to do is I might have to... Well, there's a crack there. Please don't be too cracky. Interesting. I'll just try from this angle. Crack still there. What I'll do is they'll have to be thinner. Hate that. But I can turn the block into a bridge because I noticed if you face it this side, you can get some nice colour too. So, although that was not optimal, I can still do something with it. And that bit needs to go. Just needs to go. So there we go. About a carrot, I reckon. About a carrot. Yep. This is the final bit because the other half has spoken. Okay, what I'll do is I'll dop this up later because I think this is just too good to just... Man, that's spectacular. Look at you. Yeah, I'll dop that up. And the cool thing is that I've got this piece of material here. Now, it doesn't even look like much to the naked eye, but because I know what it's come from, I can do something with it. I've got this piece of material here, which is the same kind of deal. I've got this piece of material here, which I think is the same material. I'm just looking. Yeah, I think this material here is the same stuff. So I can use that. I've got this piece of material here. So I'm just putting it all into the same spot. Now this looks like a quick slam dunk. Here we go. This is just another stone that I just picked up accidentally. Now if I get yelled at, it's my fault. So let's have a quick look at that. It faces that way, so yeah. Alright, we'll have a quick look at the birds now. I might come in the afternoon and do a bird session because I don't like the concept of people missing out. There's some more of that other stuff. Just quickly get this down. But I think we've won today. And here's the doubleting material because beautiful and understated, and think of all the words that posh people use. Those things. All right. I reckon that I've pushed my luck as far as I can push it. So we'll put that into a doublet at some stage, I presume. Perhaps it's the other side, even better. Do I do cut opal, as in the final product? Opal guy. Sorry, you keep talking, opal guy. Normally the opal guy does some kind of presentation saying, stone number 323. I like this stone, it's got, pieces of emerald in it, or something like that. All right, quickly to the birds. That was a good sesh in the end. Hey guys. Got a lot to do today. How are you going, Loki? Loki's undone all of the things because she's want to do that. Now recently we've been worried about Loki. She's been a little bit thin on the feather side. There's two reasons for that. One is that she's been molting, and the other one was that we found a little mite in her feathers. So we've been treating her for mites, and she seems to be doing much better. And I am seeing there's one of the pins right there if you want to see. Go from this angle. There's a pin feather. That's a good view of a pin feather actually. There you go. The good thing about that is usually her pin feathers are a lot longer. They've got pink in them for a lot longer, and that's bad. And just scratching out the pin feathers, you've got to be careful with how you scratch them out. A, they hurt, and B, they can make the bird bleed. So, speak of Alabama and watch him appear. Yeah, I think that's what the young guys say. Loki, what do you say? Can you say good sesh?
Good sesh. Good sesh.
Yeah, maybe. There you go. I remember in Sesame Street all those years ago, they always had those doors which had huge amounts of locks on them for the gangster style things. Hey, Max. Yeah, come on. Come in. Come in. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you some massive release time tonight, okay? You need to do some flying. Let's have a look at your pin feather situation. Yeah, he's much better. He was on my lap the other day. I kid you not. Yeah. There we go. Look at you. There we go, a few bits of pin feather there. He's also a lot happier. I think he's cranky in the evenings. But sometimes we get some good time together in the evenings. All right. There we go. Let's see, how is that pin feather? Like, I actually, you know how I was saying don't do the pin feathers the wrong way? That pin feather there has been done the wrong way. You can just see a little bit of black on it. Yeah. So he likes his scratch, but he's wary of me. Sometimes this ends in a bit of a biting sesh. Well, there you go, sesh. I'm young and stuff. We don't know Max's age. I was told he was 2 when I got him, but there is doubt on that. So he might not know words like sesh. He might have to stick to things like, when I was your age. That's right, he could well be older than me. Yeah, they molt and they nest. When I got Loki, she had just, well, allegedly fledged, but she was well behind in the fledging schedule because her feathers were so crap, which led us down the beacon feather path, etc., etc. But she was a wild bird, but she was clearly not compatible with the wild, so the vets eventually tagged her and gave it to me. That's a very truncated story of what happened with Loki. Max, I think, is also a wild bird, but for different reasons. I suspect that the people I got him off actually just caught him, which is a very, very naughty thing to do. When I first had him, he was clipped, so he certainly couldn't go back to the wild. And now we're sitting here with this conundrum of what do we do with him? And so the basic idea is, if he actually escapes, then nature has made the decision for us. Because I would hate to think if he's got a wife and kids and stuff, and we're just keeping him in the cage for our own personal entertainment. That's not what we do. But I think he's happy here. We leave the door open and stuff, and he just doesn't want to go. As an aside, I have set Loki's birthday, because I don't know exactly when it is. Yeah, he's very happy. I've set Loki's birthday at September the 11th because I thought that's an easy one to remember. So her birthday's coming up. There we go. Max is having the time of his life. I have the time of my life. Yeah, but if Max is happy, but if he wasn't, if it was clear that he wanted to return to the wild, presuming that's what he could do, I would just let him. Because neither of these birds really I consider to be my birds. They're people who are hanging out in my house. They're cohabitants. They're roommates. They're not necessarily my property to do things with. Having said that, my house, my rules. That's the only thing. So yeah, you're not allowed to eat the power cords, are you? Or the chocolate. No, you haven't heard that story. After the live stream last time, Max ate a cherry ripe, and chocolate is deadly for cockatoos. And so I spent a little bit of time with the remaining cherry ripe, which I managed to get off him, set of scales, and Google, figuring out the lethal dose of chocolate, the amount of chocolate that's in a cherry ripe, and the remaining weight of cherry ripe. Figured he'd gotten not a lethal dose, a dose that would make him sick. But I can tell you, the only symptoms that we saw of this disease, of chocolatitis, was Max looking extremely pleased with himself. Okay, off you go. I'm going to do the same. Loki did not like that. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to hit like and subscribe on the way out if you're that way inclined. And don't forget to have a lovely day. And as I always say, Dr. Phil out.